Hello everyone, here we are. One thing I want to say is I put two videos previously. One is with the FBI talking about catching the supposed killer of Charlie Kirk, and the second one was his wife giving, addressing the nation. So I already saw some people leave some nasty stuff, but the one thing I want to say is, doesn't matter what your beliefs are. Well, I guess it does, right? But it doesn't matter if you're a political person, if you're a hardcore Democrat or Republican or libertarian. It doesn't matter. This person's life was taken away for being a champion of free speech, which is America's First Amendment. That's it. His views were his views, and you have to respect that. Nobody's able to have a debate anymore. Nobody's able to talk about stuff. The whole reason behind the First Amendment was to give you all sides and then even stuff that's just far out there. And then through your own intelligence, your own beliefs, use your discernment whether you're going to take that information and assimilate it or reject it. Bruce Lee had a philosophy to learn everything, right? And then from there, you take what is useful and you reject what is not useful. This is so simple. The thing that has happened over the past decade is all this division through the mainstream media. That's why social media, YouTube has gotten more popular with all these people who are independent journalists. I'll just use that term, because a lot of the real information is suppressed out there. And then when we get to a point where everything's funneled through one lens, that doesn't mean it's the truth. It means this is what they want you to know. So just for me, giving you a story really quick, when I was 16, I was in a newspaper. I actually saved somebody's life and we became best friends after that. His name is Jack. And it was a racial incident, and they were yelling, I'll never forget, yelling, "Kill the Spick." Meanwhile, he's a Russian Jew and he dressed like hip hop. Back then it was pop culture. And I didn't even really know him for more than a day. And I saw somebody gonna go take his head off with a baseball bat, and I jumped in the way and blocked it. And then he made a circle around me. And then I had three people with baseball bats against me. And then thank God for my reflexes, one came straight like this, and I blocked it with my arm went dead. Another one came like this, and I got out of the way. My whole right arm was not moving after that. And thank God, because otherwise they would have knocked all my teeth out, cracked my head open, who the hell knows. But the reason why I'm bringing this up, in the news, in a newspaper, it said gang fight over girl. No gang, no girl. It was a racial incident. Okay, so since 16, I didn't take what the news said at face value. And that's the thing. The internet is for one thing, for you to do research on. But most people are super lazy, and most people know that, especially the designers behind all this. So what do? They give you the apps, they funnel whatever you like or what you don't like to piss you off more, because the algorithm gets to know what you like according to what you spend time on. So what does this do? This fans the flames, right? If you watch a lot of stuff that gets you angry and it comes from one side of the party or that side, they're going to feed you more and more of that. It's going to feed you more, I hate the word, influencers that have that mindset that fan the flames of hate and anger. And then you're going to become that angry, hateful person. Same thing if you watch something that's more loving, caring, and compassionate and open-minded, you're going to fan the flames of compassion, love, and open-mindedness, right? With the study from MIT, which I put in one of my books, it shows when they were designing social media, what got you really addicted? What had you coming back for more? Negative stuff. And you have so many people now that think that they're standing on the side of righteousness through violence, anger, death, harming people, vandalizing stuff, rioting, looting, doxing people, beating people up, social bullying. All that stuff is not okay. Martin Luther King was a man of nonviolence, and he really changed the face of America. A lot of the stuff that he taught and preached is almost dead at this point. He said, don't judge a man by his skin color. Judge a person by his values and his morals, right? I know I didn't say it 100% correctly, but it's like most people are judging people they don't even know. It's just, we're in such a dark place in the world. Same thing with Mahatma Gandhi. How did he get the strongest military, right? The British, the English out of India through nonviolence, right? He started to become a devout follower of his own faith in the Bhagavad Gita, and he applied nonviolence. Him and Martin Luther King changed so many things through nonviolence, you know. So one thing that I'm just trying to say is like, hate will never change anything. Hate breeds more hate. Nothing has ever been changed through hate. And what's another saying from Martin Luther King? Mahatma Gandhi, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. So violence and anger only creates more of that. The one thing too is if you're tolerant, if you're for the Constitution, if you're for equality, equity is a different word, you know, you should be compassionate and kind to each other. When you get to know somebody on a different level beyond their political beliefs and religious beliefs, you get to really know somebody for who they are. And from there, you could create a relationship, a rapport. You could start to share things, understand things, learn things, and this makes you grow as a human being. And this is what your soul is here for, to learn, evolve, and grow while you're here in this body and on this earth for a limited time. So to see all these people that are celebrating the murder, I mean, of a human being that was a Christian and had his conservative views, and that's what he did for a living. He never hurt somebody. He just shared his views. And if you had a different opinion, he had facts to back up his beliefs. And that's it. Either you liked it or you didn't. You didn't have to follow him. You didn't have to listen to him. He didn't impact your life in any way. He didn't hurt you. He never came to your house and did anything. He didn't belittle anybody. He just had an open conversation, you know? And if you hate that, you're not an American. You're not an American that loves the Constitution and loves the values of America. You are the fascist. Anybody that wants to silence somebody, suppress somebody, kill somebody, stop somebody from living their life that's non-harmful is a fascist. You know, everybody's using these terms right away: homophobe, Islamophobe, xenophobe. They don't even know the meaning of most of this stuff. And why would you call somebody? That's called an ad hominem. If you're having a debate with somebody, you talk about the topic at hand. Just like if you have an argument with your brother or your sister. It's like, man, why did you take my sneakers without asking at least to borrow them? Oh, fuck you. You're a homophobe. You're this, you're that. It's just like, what are you talking about? It's like, I just want to know why you took my sneakers without asking. They were brand new. You see? So it's like, you didn't address the problem. You just called me names and tried to personally attack me, which has nothing to do with anything, with reality. This is the biggest problem now. Most people are so fueled by anger where they use these programmed terms to say to somebody, to hurt them and personally attack them, but it doesn't do anything at all, besides cause more chaos. Look at your behavior, look at your actions, look at what you spend your time doing. Do you watch a lot of mainstream media news? Do you watch a lot of one-sided news that's propaganda and lies and anger? I mean, we don't know what's the truth. We just don't. It doesn't matter if it's coming from this side or that side. You got to remember, it's two wings of the same bird, you know? So to look at things from a place where you're trying to understand both sides and seeing what's right and wrong in your eyes is the most important thing. This groupthink is super dangerous. You know, you think you're part of a tribe, that doesn't exist. Once you do one thing wrong, those people will turn on you, and then you're kicked out of the club, and that's it. You know, be responsible for your actions. try to notice what you spend your time doing. Do you watch positive things, negative things? If you're an atheist, Buddhism is a great philosophy for just life and your mind. If you're a Christian or a Jew or a Hindu, look at your religion and look at the beautiful things in there to help you connect to other human beings and life. There has to be some place that anchors you in just good morals and ethics. And then from there, spend more time with that. Grow within a place of love. Remember, this is your garden. What you plant in there will grow. If you let weeds take over, it's going to kill everything in there. If you pull out those weeds, which is those negative stuff, and you plant beautiful flowers, you're going to have a beautiful garden that represents you. It's going to smell beautiful. It's going to look beautiful. It's going to have this beautiful natural energy. I think people have to start to look at things instead of feeding into their fears and what they think is the ultimate truth. You have to be careful with that. You know, most stuff is coming from your perspective. You have your perspective of what the truth is, which is relative truth, and then you have absolute truth. Some people might not agree with that. That's perfectly fine. But if you notice that you're walking around angry all the time, you want certain people to get hurt, injured, doxxed, treated badly, fired, whatever, look at yourself. That's super important. Where's this anger coming from, and why you're allowing that to take over? Nobody should be like that. You know, look at yourself and see what you could do to create a positive environment that's full of love and compassion and kindness. If you think that's crazy, I can't help you. But try to take a step back. If you're watching a lot of stuff that irritates you and fans the flames of anger and not love and kindness and compassion, stop investing so much time in something that's so negative and hurtful. It's not going to make you a good person. It's not going to make your life better, and it's not going to change anything. This is super important to look at. All right. So this video is coming from a place of love. And I hope that some people really take some of the stuff that I say and use it to make them a better human being. All right. Thank you for listening. I just wish everybody just love and compassion and kindness, and try to use more of that in the time that we live in. If you see all this division, this is not natural. It's not normal, and it's not healthy. You know, you look at the Woodstock era. They were against the Vietnam War, but they were proud to be Americans, and everybody tried to love each other. All right? All right, God bless. See you soon. Please stay to the end of the video. I put a bunch of quotes, correct quotes from Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi. If anything, read each one and just sit with it and see how it makes you feel. All right? These are beautiful quotes that I think are really important. So please stay to the end and read these one at a time. If it's too fast, just pause it, read that, sit with it, and then go to the next one. Thank you very much.